Hello, fellow spicy disasters. Just passing by because we're here editing, and we just noticed that we had some issues with our live stream. So you might notice some video issues and some lag and audio problems at the beginning. So we did our best. Hope you don't notice. Just a warning. Bye.
Quiet on set.
Camera.
Rolling.
Sound.
Speed.
And action.
Film nerds, good friends, and old roommates get together to talk about
Books.
Welcome to the Film Nerd Book Club.
Can't wait for you to read with us.
Is this recording?
Hi, welcome back to the Welcome to another episode of the Film Nerd Book Club. We've got Mika, Sonja, Evie, the voice of God, Josh, and me, of course,
Hi,
Jess.
Jess.
Hi, Jess.
Hey, Jess.
This week we are reading Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. Look how beautiful the cover is.
Mexican Gothic.
Gorgeous.
Mexican Gothic.
Mexican Gothic.
Mexican Gothic. Please don't make me say it again.
Also, I just have to point out that the hard book, look at how gorgeous this red is.
It is gorgeous. However, listen, I like the flexibility of a paperback.
Just pointing it out that it looks
You
gorgeous.
can't say no to flexibility.
And it's all I'm saying. Everything in my life needs to be bendable. You know what I'm saying?
Except for yourself.
Mhm.
Okay, so this week we actually just read the first 9 episodes.
Chapters.
Okay.
Thinking about movies, my bad. We only
Movies.
Movies have episodes. Star Wars.
No, series.
I mean,
Let's
Yeah.
try that one more time, guys.
Uno más. This is
Uno
the part.
más.
This is going to be the
Okay.
entire. Like anything I know in Spanish will be coming out during all these
This
recordings.
is the part that
FYI.
never ends. This is the
No, sing that for our wrap-ups because our wrap-ups never end. All right, sorry. Go Sonja.
Okay, so this week we just read the first 9 chapters, not episodes, like TV series. So basically, we are set in Mexico in 1950, and it's about this wonderful family. This cousin sends a letter to her other cousin, and apparently it's all rambled up. They notice that something's going on. So the uncle, or the main character's dad, her name is No-EH-mee. What was her last name?
That's not how it's
Taboada?
pronounced in my head.
How do you
No.
pronounce it, Tameca?
Naomi.
How? Her name is
It's-
Noemi Taboada.
Taboada.
What'd you call me? What'd you just call me?
I called you cute.
Stop.
That's the Spanish for cute.
I feel like I haven't heard that before.
So No-EH-mee is our main character.
Noemi.
And-
I'm sorry.
and-
I'm going to be parroting this whole time.
Noemi.
Noemi.
No-EH-mee.
La momia.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay,
I'm gonna
Tameca,
keep
it's
calling her
okay.
No-EH-mee.
Even though it's Noemi, but okay.
No, it's not No-EH-mee. I'm gonna double check that there's an accent, a little thing on her name.
There is a little thing on her name.
Wait, how is a Cuban and a Puerto Rican going to debate how to pronounce something? You guys are different.
Exactly.
It's also a Mexican
Her name
Yeah,
is
it is a
No-EH-mee.
Mexican.
Welcome to Spanish Lessons with Sonja. In today's lesson, we will talk about accent marks. In Spanish, we write words with accent marks. The rule to identify if a word has an accent mark is to divide it into syllables or sílabas, and to identify the stressed syllable or sílaba tónica. For example, No-EH-mee. No-EH-mee is divided into 3 syllables. We also notice that me has an accent mark, making it the stressed syllable. So, the name No-EH-mee is pronounced No-EH-mee because of that accent mark. Gracias.
No, this is how you pronounce it.
Well, the Mexican in the group, how do you pronounce it?
Naomi! Touche! Move along. Keep going.
Okay. Okay.
Replay.
Time out.
I think we're good. We're good. That's the episode. Goodbye, guys.
What just happened?
I choked on my tea.
Oh, did you almost drown? Not so fun. Not so fun when that happens.
Oh,
We're only in like less than 2 minutes and I'm already drowning. Oh.
Can we do fuck.
Words?
Compile. What am I trying to say? Compilation.
Oh, but I like.
Compilation of us all drowning in different episodes.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
I like legit spit up tea all over my leg.
Yeah, we know, Jess.
Okay, just me and Evie then. Fine.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It'll be part of the gag reel that's already made it into an episode.
The gag reel? The
We'll
drown
emphasize
reel?
it.
I see what
Drown
you
reel.
did there. God, I'm all sticky now. Oh god.
Nope. Okay, so on that note, we're gonna go back to the story. Naomi, our main character, has a cousin named Catalina, or how do you pronounce it?
Catalina.
How do you say it in your head, Tameca?
Catalina.
Catalina? Okay.
That one's
So,
the same in English, guys.
Yeah.
so Catalina is the one who got married, left because they are in Mexico City. So she got married and went to the country, and she sends this letter to her uncle, which is Naomi's dad. And Naomi's dad received the letter and goes, something's
Padre.
wrong. El papá, el padre, the head of the household.
See, I can confirm
One of
this.
those.
See,
So he then, after he gets the letter, calls Naomi or No-EH-mee and tells her please go to the country and check up on her because there's something off. This is not what she normally, like how she normally writes, and she hasn't written a lot of letters, so there's something going on. So she goes to the country, goes to Catalina's house. She has tuberculosis. And no, what does she have?
tuberculosis or TB.
Well, she has TB, and it is she lives with her husband, and he lives with his uncle.
He lives.
Uncle?
Catalina's husband. Catalina's
Titles are
husband, Virgil, who lives
That
on
one
his
wasn't
family's
me, actually.
estate, lives with his
Oh.
father Howard, his
who is creepy as fuck. He's the only creepy thing about
His-
the book, honestly.
Yeah.
his niece Howard.
okay.
Yes, we'll get to
Creepy?
that. Howard, is Father Howard, his niece Florence, his
It's not his
Yeah,
father,
Florence.
though.
No,
It's his
wait, no,
Uncle
it's
Howard.
Uncle Howard.
no,
Vigil
no,
is
no,
the
no,
husband.
no. France,
Howard.
Uncle, Francis, who's the one who picked up No-EH-mee at the train station when he got
Is
when she got
Vigil's
his house,
brother.
is Virgil's nephew.
Yes.
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 Whose
Yes.
great uncle is Howard, who's Virgil's father,
Yes.
who's cousin to Florence, and it's the
Yes.
four of them. They're the last of their family living in that house, along with Virgil's wife Catalina. We
What
good?
he said. Yes.
Don't
yes.
worry, it's gonna get more
Now-
confusing. There's cousins marrying cousins everywhere in this family.
Yeah.
So,
And notice it wasn't the Mexicans marrying cousins. It's
The
those
English.
Europeans. I'm
it
just
was the
saying.
Europeans. So
they need to have
Catalina,
everything English.
so Catalina, is there. No-EH-mee is told that Catalina is suffering from tuberculosis, and it's affecting her mind, even though there's disagreement about whether tuberculosis would really cause her to act that way. And one of the big things is the fact that she swears that she's seeing ghosts, that the walls are talking to her, she's acting completely off, and the family living in the house are also equally as off. The house itself is in loca.
Demente.
Living la vida loca, if you will.
Living the vida loca.
Living la casa loca, if you will.
No, it would be like on the boring side though, because the fact. Okay, they have dinner and they can't speak. Which household goes to dinner, sits down, and just stares at each other?
And stare at each other all day. Got very boring.
European households.
Yes, the
Not the
family
Mexican ones,
is...
because the Mexican ones,
We got a
Sonja,
party.
you've seen.
We got party and tortillas and mariachi and yes.
That's more of a stereotype.
I'm sorry, but those are like the big celebrations when they add the
But they're,
mariachi.
I mean,
The
like an
normal
everyday
dinner.
dinner.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
still trying to recover from
tortillas.
choking on my
Yeah.
tea, so hang on a second.
Oh, now we have to pause every time you drink tea?
We did it! We did it! We did it! Yay! Lo hicimos! We did it!
Good job, Ebes. You did it.
You did not drown this round.
How do you say bebiendo?
Beber? Bebiendo.
Bebida.
Bebiendo.
Bebiendo, it's when you're drinking.
I was on the right track.
You are.
Mhm. Y jodiendo is when you're screwing with me. So,
Yes.
So-
Yes.
es un chiste? Yes. So,
Es un chiste. Puñeta.
Es un chiste, puñeta.
so yes, Naomi is told that she's ill. She's taking Catalina's taking medication. It's normal. Naomi's like, fuck that. That does not sound right at all. So she, for the next day or two, she's interacting with everyone, trying to find, getting to know everybody. And like we said before, they're weird as fuck. So she convinces Virgil to get a second opinion, goes down into the town to find
The doctor.
eso mismo, one of those. Medicine
doctor.
stuff. Un doctor. To come up, and he's hesitant because the family has their own doctor and he's already been there.
He's still in
and
the
is-
process of growing a mustache.
Well, the doctor in the town, yeah, he's very young. And
Yes.
so these are the tidbits you pick up from the book.
Yeah, that's the only detail I got so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
That our doctor in the town can grow a mustache.
Correct.
He's trying. It's partially there.
I
He's
mean, that's
trying.
what counts. The effort is what
Yeah.
counts.
He's not
Okay.
stressful enough to actually grow one.
So all of this is stress?
Maybe.
Wow.
Wisdom.
You never know.
Wisdom,
Wisdom.
my
It could be
ass.
wisdom as well. So
Do I go or do you go?
I want to go. So she goes to see the
Okay.
doctor in town and convinces him to go to do a second opinion. But fun fact, her cousin Catalina had asked for her to go see a healer in town, which her name was Marta, correct? Marta Duval. And she goes over and it's a little healer. She can't see and she's asking questions. And of course she's like, I can tell you the story and I'll give you the tea for some money and all that. And of course she was getting, because No-EH-mee smokes.
She spilled the tea.
Oh, she did.
So did I
She
earlier.
did.
She did it more successfully than you.
You kind of drowned.
How do you
me.
successfully spill tea? Well,
Not
I spit
drowning.
out
Well,
tea.
you did it
That's
literally.
different.
She did it figuratively, so she did it better.
Yes. So she was able to then tell her the story that apparently this family is cursed. So the Uncle Howard, Uncle Howard, he was, or his dad, the family was basically the owner
should I take
of
over?
the mine, the silver mine.
Wow. Wow.
Go, Evie. Take over.
No, keep going.
Machismo.
Thank you, Mika. Thank you for having my back.
Because I feel like
So-
you guys are gonna. I didn't want you to get confused with all the weird, cousin on cousin-ness.
Wow.
That gets very confusing.
No, basically the family. So basically the family were the owners of the silver mining. And they were like, it got to a point where just there was a plague and like everyone died, and they had their own cemetery in their in their acre in their land that they
High
only
place.
yes, which is called
High
high place.
place.
Correct. Thank you.
The estate, yes.
Important facts. I'm here for important facts. Muy importante.
Ay, loca.
And then
I'm too sober for this.
so that's when No-EH-mee learns about like the curse and all this, and she's like, no, it's not there's no curse. I'm just gonna figure out. So then she goes back to the house, and of course she likes roaming to see the estate, and it seems to be in a very high, like, it's called the high place.
Light bulb.
Okay, so back to the story. She went to see the doctor to convince him to go to the house. She went to meet the healer to get the specialty that Catalina asked for. And then she's been told that there's a curse, that there was a plague that killed most of the miners from like their silver mining. And she is then told that there was a daughter that a week before her marriage or wedding, grabbed a rifle and just killed everyone in the household.
She Amityville hoard that place.
Yes.
Pretty
Yes.
accurate.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So, Ibi,
That's how you summarize.
we're just watching a Mexican version of
So yeah, the family's all kinds of fucked up. Murder, insanity, all that stuff. So she goes back to High Place. Week later, maybe anything in between? No, whatever. Week later,
she just walked through the estate.
the novel is a very
nothing.
slow burn. It's mostly describing the house itself and the environment. The important thing is that a week later, the doctor comes up and they talk and discuss with Catalina her ailment, and she seems kind of okay, if not a little bit down. And then it gets a little bit worse when they're talking to her. She starts talking about the ghosts, the walls talking to her, and completely denies she ever asked Catalina to go get the medicine, probably because she's afraid people are hearing things through the walls. And
Well, I felt that she was asking about the tea, like she was like, what are you talking about? Because I thought that because she didn't want the rest of the household to know
because she's
that
afraid
she was
that
taking that tea.
she's afraid that the walls can hear her, and she's not supposed to be asking for this kind of stuff.
Yes.
So
You don't believe in ghosts, do you?
Hmm?
You don't believe in ghosts, do you?
Do
Evie?
I believe in ghosts? Are you asking if I believe in ghosts?
What
Whether
gave it
I-
away? This?
Whether I believe in the supernatural or
I'd
not
like
is not
to
the
know.
question. I'm the kind of person that I don't fuck with shit. That's just me. Do I believe in this? Probably not. But will I fuck with it? Probably not.
Then that means you believe on some level.
Yeah.
Because like I don't want to believe, but also like,
I don't want to be that guy
I
who
don't want
finds
to talk
out he's
about it and
wrong.
bring it into my life.
I don't want to be that guy who doesn't believe and then finds out the truth and then dies because of it. So
Yeah. And
not that
but
guy in the movie.
The good part of that though would be you won't have to live with being wrong.
I already live with being wrong. So you know something. The three of you
then
remind me
don't
that.
have to.
The three of you remind me that all the time.
True.
We're the three amigos.
Mm.
Amigas.
Yes, amigas. You can say amigos for female and male. Like in
No, an
general.
Amiga. I want to be an Amiga.
You
An
are
amoeba.
Amiga.
So anyway, after that, there's more discourse between No-EH-mee. No-EH-mee. Shit.
Oh,
Were you looking at a?
Shut up.
Oh.
Wait,
Were you looking at a
No-EH-mee?
goat, Jess?
No, I'm gonna get attacked soon.
Oh, at least you know it's coming.
Guys,
I'm
you
about
don't have to put up with this like crazy eyes. That's not exciting.
I'm just ready to see some sort of like black blur just go floop and like attack her
Toothless!
face.
A night fury.
Toothless.
No. She went down the stairs.
Toothless.
And
So anyway, more discourse between her and the rest of the family. There's a dinner. No-EH-mee is scolded by Florence, who's a big old stuck-up condescending bitch. And
Wow, again with the B word.
Am I wrong?
no.
She's just
A bitch?
introverted.
No.
No.
A biatch. Capital B.
Well, to be fair, she also is kind of fucked up because part of Martha's story that we didn't mention was also the fact that she came back with a man, that man who went cuckoo, just like Catalina is right now, and was found dead in a ditch. So we
In
can't
the
entirely
ravine.
blame. So we can't really blame her for being all. bleh.
And they
So-
said that Virgil only lived because she like saved him or something, right?
Well, Martha says that Virgil lived because Martha. No, sorry, not Martha. Martha wasn't there, or was she?
No.
No, she wasn't there.
No.
Martha says that Virgil
Well-
didn't die because Florence hid her away, but also speculates maybe there was a bit of mercy on Ruth's part. But
Wait,
But
wasn't
if
that
Florence-
Francis?
If Florence saved Virgil, she could just take everything super serious because she feels responsible.
more than likely, and also because her the
She's a
love of her.
Cause I'm a boss ass bitch.
To
Okay.
wrap this summary up so we can actually discuss the book, let's
wrap
do a
up.
speed round.
Please, wrap up.
So Virgil apologizes for being a dick. They start to talk a little bit more. We learn more about Howard and his two wives who he married that were cousins, and he married them in succession.
It was
And-
such a
White as shit.
Hmm?
I said that's why
And when they're both dead, blah blah blah. She wants to get a psychiatrist for Catalina. They say hell nah.
Also, that Howard guy with his
That's not
racism.
entirely true. He says that he wants her to get better before they talk about getting a psychiatrist.
Yes,
Yeah.
that.
that she
You
can't
want-
move around and stuff.
He wants to wait. Yeah.
Yeah, but Howard and his racist bullshit and
Yeah. What
his
the hell?
creepy ass
Well,
Superior.
touching.
we'll get to that now. So yes, racist bullshit.
Yes.
She learns more about the characters, and we end with chapter 9, in which she has a nice moment with Francis, and Francis may be the
Aw.
only worthwhile person in his entire family.
Maybe
And-
they'll end up together.
I doubt it, but
Why?
Yeah, that vibe.
She did say, I might just sleep with him before I leave.
you're taking that out of context, though. You're taking that out of context completely. And we'll get to that
It's-
now.
Oh, okay.
So yes, impressions.
Impressions. I found out that it's a slow start.
Burn.
Like there's a
Slow
lot.
burn.
Yeah, it's just kind of boring, but it's really easy to read. So like after an hour, I'm like, oh, I'm done reading.
I
But
wouldn't
there's,
call
like-
it boring, but a lot of it is, for the most part, outside of the interaction with the characters, a lot of it is pretty much describing the estate and the town. And I really enjoy that. And there's a couple of key words that keeps getting thrown around, and it's withering, peeling, and decay, and rot.
Death.
And it's kind of cool because then we start the book in Mexico City and describe it so lively and vibrant and No-EH-mee's house is modern and has red upholstery on everything, and it's nice, and she gets to it through hang on through
Practice your R's, guys.
Triunfo. There we go. And
Perro,
Triunfo, which is
what?
triumph in Spanish, also the name of the town where the estate is located. She gets there. She describes it as essentially what you would expect in the guidebook of a small, quaint Mexican town, but it's all degrading. It's decaying. The paint is peeling off the walls. The flower, not degrading, decaying. Sorry, it's decaying, and the paint is peeling off the wall. The flowers are not kept, and there's always this mist. There's always this mist, especially up in the mountain on the estate where High Place is located. And then you have the
In
house.
a high place.
Hi, I see what you did there. High five. So,
Yay for nerds.
woo! So, and High Place is described as this. I mean, you could picture pretty much any old Gothic mansion in literature is this
So
estate.
what my imagination goes to is to that mansion from Rose Red.
Yes.
That's
Perfect.
exactly
Perfect example. Any like The Haunting, Rose Red,
get
movies
the-
like that.
Reference.
Any
Any
big
Gothic
mansion haunted house,
estate,
kind
pretty
of like
much.
really dark. Like that's
And
how the High
very
Place is.
Victorian, very modern, very European and English. There's mahogany
Marmalade.
That is mahogany.
and hardwood
It's just
and
dark.
sculptures and oil paintings, and even inside is the exact same feeling of decay and withering and rot. It's kept, but there's still dust everywhere. Nothing.
Yeah.
The paint is peeling off. It just feels. Oh, it's decay. It's the main word.
It has
funny.
weird wallpapers.
Yes, there's a big overtones of green and all these other like.
Oh, and the snake.
And the
The
snake
infinite
throughout the house.
snake.
Exactly. The Ouroboros, which is the snake eating its tail. Jess might have more to say about that.
Oh God,
About
why
the
are you
snake?
doing
Because
Jess?
you had Jess.
Jess?
Because this,
It depends on which, because it has different meanings in different cultures. So I'm not entirely sure on which one it's talking about for this book, but I don't know. I stumbled across something that kind of said that it was about the like combining of two things, like and he's always talking about how he wants to like create, like take what's strong about the indigenous people
Mhm.
and combine it with him like self and
The
his
superior race.
which
Okay.
lets us start talking about Howard, the patriarch of the family, who is obsessed with superior and inferior,
And a
superiority,
fucking pervert. Can we
inferiority,
just
and
say that?
race.
He's a fucking
Yeah.
pervert. Because
He is.
as soon as
He is.
they started with the whole touching descriptions and everything, I
Mhm.
literally feel like that. Like
Mhm.
we all have that creepy old guy either in our family or we've stumbled across in life, and they have to fucking rub your hand and like they specifically touch your knuckles in a weird way. Oh,
As creepy old
so
men.
much.
It's you
Tend
feel
to
you
do.
you feel it. You feel the
You do,
uncomfortable.
or if they touch your face in any way, it sucks. And
Nobody
that
ain't touching my
smell.
So
No touching.
yeah.
No touching. Thanks.
Howard's main piece of interest is things like eugenics, superiority, inferiority of races, and it gets really creepy with those conversations. And so, racism is the true evil in this book so far.
Honestly, it's kind of got like it's not really creepy. He's creepy, but like the rest of the book is kind of like me. Like
Well, we probably haven't gotten to the creepy part because what I've read is that it's a slow burn in the beginning and then it picks up.
Slow
Oh,
burn
fun.
is how I'm 100% describing it right now. I go through phases where I'm like, this is the worst, and then I'm like a chapter through or something, and I'm like, oh, I think I was just enjoying. Like, I feel like whatever I just read, I forgot that I wasn't enjoying it. So I was like, so that must have been I was enjoying it, and then I start to be like, but now I'm bored again, and then I'll be like, oh, I wasn't bored for like 5 minutes, and I keep
And-
doing that. But then it comes back when I'm like, I realize when I'm bored and not bored, and I think that's a bad sign.
I don't know. For me, it's so far it starts off pretty much what I expect a Gothic novel to start off with, and I'm very much enjoying
Maybe
the
that's
way
my
she
problem.
describes.
I don't read many.
Like many.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Dracula
and
kind of
Gothic
starts
isn't
off
this.
like a
Mhm. And Gothic doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be scary. Gothic usually it's gonna be eerie, and it's gonna make you feel a little
Like
uncomfortable
walking
at
into a hot
times.
topic.
Oh, so it's not the black eyeliner and that face that we all went through in high school, or we haven't left.
Listen, all I gotta say is that
I feel
Catalina is
kind of
described
attacked
as.
right now.
All I gotta say
Jess
is
is
Catalina.
still in it.
Yeah, I feel that I'm still in it,
respect-
but I haven't left.
and I respect that. I'm still in here. I can't afford the outer, so I keep it all inside. So
Guys, you haven't seen my jackets. My jackets are all from Hot Topic because they're all like
I believe that.
see,
they're all
Jess is
still-
keeping it
they're
real.
nice.
So
they're either Slytherin or they're from like Marvel movies.
okay, that's more like modern
Yeah.
Hot Topic, but it's still cool though.
Yeah, that's
But
today's hot
I
topic.
have
Just
I do
the
have one that's like
Early
As a country,
early
I'm
2000 hot topic.
when it meant to be the meaning of Gothic was going to Hot Topic and buying everything in there.
Ooh, it has spikes. I'm getting it.
Yep, spikes and chains. That I'm getting that.
My belt is a seat belt.
Oh, I
I-
had those.
so back to what I was saying about Gothic though. One thing that also stuck out with me is how Catalina has described the things she likes growing up, and she liked fairy tales and Gothic tales. And Wuthering Heights is mentioned twice in that book, which
Oh.
always makes me happy because Wuthering Heights was one of my favorite books in high school, which totally should tell you how much of a happy childhood I had in high school. I was very cheery.
They
So-
also mentioned the original stories of Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, of
Beauty.
how like Cinderella,
With
like the
the-
stepsisters, like
Scissors
Yeah.
cut off
chopped
their
her
feet.
toe off. Yeah,
Mhm.
and Sleeping Beauty, their stepmom was put into a barrel.
Which
of snakes.
makes sense because they're alive during the original versions, yes.
Dead mom!
So I very much like the Gothic inspirations in the beginning and the writing and descriptions of the environment, and so far I'm enjoying it. Maybe because I just enjoy Gothic in general. So I know for some of you that isn't entirely your thing. And the only thing about it though is that for a book called Mexican Gothic, I don't feel it's very Mexican, and I'm not really sure what that means.
Because
So
she's
Well,
around racists.
because
so it's being
I get-
subdued.
there's probably because I guess that's it too. Because for the very first part we're in Mexico City, and then we go straight into European Victorian-esque environment, which is the house. So
Like in every way possible, she's not allowed to be herself. Whether it's
Correct.
like
okay,
her
true.
personality, the way that she likes to talk, she likes lively things, she likes to dance, she likes music, she likes bright colors, nice clothes. Everything's rotting and decaying there,
All
and
right, and
super
fair point.
silent. And her Mexicanness
Or Mexican.
is looked at as a novelty almost, and like
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Fair point.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna add to that. It's very much the story of erasure, because in her first conversation with Howard, he's talking about how the indigenous people might have like physically superior traits, but it is like the European and English culture that they need to like emulate in order to be like a superior people.
mhm.
So in that
Unacceptable.
case, then yeah, you're right. Also, we
I-
didn't mention. Sorry. Go.
no, that I just wanted to point out that I really like the fact that it's set in the 1950s. Like you can really see like everything of like they don't telephone as much. Like it's just I'll send a letter. I'll go in like
Women don't mean shit.
women can't vote,
Which is a
like,
point that she makes.
Yeah,
It's
With-
all about women marrying instead of
Mhm.
like doing what they want. Like she wants to go to university,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Why would you want to do that? You
Yeah.
need to find
Like,
a
you need-
husband."
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do like that aspect of like the story being set in a different time, in a different place, but then you still see everything that you would normally see.
And I love how it adds to the eeriness when you find out the estate's electricity, the whole everything is set up is so old and ancient that. Okay, well, I looked the wrong direction.
He got a little excited.
He did.
I'm just reading this, and I'm like, okay, all right. I mean,
Being distracted by
how you
the
doing?
name.
So anyway, the fact that the electrical of the house is all old and messed up, so they have to light everything by candles and candelabra, totally makes it even more eerie, and I love it.
And little lanterns, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we totally forgot that No-EH-mee, I hate you all. I've been pronouncing it correct from the
No-EH-mee?
beginning. And
No-EH-mee?
No-EH-mee,
Naomi.
Naomi.
No-EH-mee, since her
Naomi.
arrival, has been having No-EH-mee.
No-EH-mee?
Me cago en los tres. I swear to God.
Naomi.
No-EH-mee?
Miss Taboada,
Naomi.
since arriving at the estate, has been having terrible, eerie dreams.
Yes, she had 2 very intense dreams.
The first one, honestly, escapes me. It had to do with like the walls coming to life.
It was,
and
yeah, she was in
flowers.
her room.
The
A
glow.
mushroom grew and glowed,
Mhm.
and then somebody that had a glowing face was coming to get her.
Yeah, it was like the walls, the
She also didn't
wallpaper. Didn't have a mouth. Exactly right.
And
We
the
didn't have
girl
a-
had the presence had like her eyes shut with nails.
Yeah, it was
something like that.
pretty much her face was just like along with that was like an unearthly glow, and she was just coming towards her, and the walls.
I kind of pictured Ryan Reynolds in X-Men. Like the face is what I was like picturing, but glowing, and I was like, "Ugh."
To be fair, everyone who saw that face also went. Eh. Even Ryan Reynolds went. Eh. So.
Like, this is what happened.
So. But yeah, sort of like that, and then the wallpaper of flowers and stuff on the wall came to life, and tendrils and grabbing her, and
Medallions.
she had no hands. And then the second, which was even creepier, which was Howard.
Yes! Was it not
The-
like Scary Movie 2? In a
Yes,
creepy way?
it was like Scary Movie 2 in a creepy way. It was creepy
Well, like-
in Scary Movie 2 also, which is funny.
It was. But it's like, what movie was that originally, though? The Haunting? Or The Haunted House? Or The House on Haunted Hill?
Which
What was
scene?
it?
If someone coming
No.
into the room?
Yes.
Isn't that
The
paranormal?
ghost-
Oh, what Scary Movie 2 was parroting?
Yes.
I-
Of
yeah.
that scene in the bedroom.
Oh.
I don't remember. I mean, the most of the movie was parroting The Haunting.
The Haunting. That's
But
it was
I
like it was like a combination of like
But like
creepy
it's
part
like
in
a
The
bunch of scary
Haunting.
movies, but for the most part, the general plot was The Haunting.
but then like Scary Movie anyway, the specific scene I'm talking about is the one in the bedroom that's creepy.
Mhm.
The nightmare that she had was like that scene in The Haunting,
Mhm.
but on the verge of the scene in Scary Movie 2 that took it one step further. And so it was like
Because it begins with
They went
creepy
there.
old Howard coming into her room, and she can't speak or open her eyes, and she starts like takes off the covers, start undressing her, and then all of a sudden it's no longer Howard, it's Virgil.
yeah, that was her conscience being like, okay, if this is gonna happen, let's make it bearable.
I feel like there's this slight chance
No.
there's some Virgil
just
and
saying.
No-EH-mee sexual tension later in the book. I can
Which
feel
is
it's
so
going to
weird.
happen. It is weird.
But like
Naomi.
that
No-EH-mee.
it wasn't Josh.
No-EH-mee.
It was Josh who
Naomi.
said in the spoiler on Discord, and I agree with what he said. Are we allowed to say that right now or no?
Sure.
Josh
The
Theory.
Or what
Josh
scene?
had, yeah, his theory of you know how Howard, his wives were like the cousins.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How something similar could possibly be happening with Catalina and Naomi because they're
Oh.
cousins, and then Virgil being Howard in that scenario.
It
No.
has to
I
do
think
with
that there's
the obsession.
something to that.
That it has to do with maybe
Okay.
the.
I'll say
there's
it,
Josh.
and
Let's
then
say
you
it.
can,
Awesome.
yeah, I'll say it,
Yay!
and then you guys can talk about like predictions if you want. So basically, my theory is that Howard is going to try to make what happened with him and his wives, with Virgil and Catalina and No-EH-mee, where like he married the oldest sister and then she died of an illness. And then he married the younger one and actually had all the children. Because in the beginning, he's talking about how he finds all of No-EH-mee's more indigenous traits to be very beautiful, and he's talking about how they need to like assimilate the indigenous people to make them superior,
and how Catalina did not have similar traits, and that she's a lot paler.
Yeah, so
she's the me version.
Because Catalina's mother was French.
Yeah, so he talks about how Catalina's mother is French. So my speculation is that what's going on is that he wanted that for his son and then doesn't find that Catalina's adequate. And so he's trying to kill her off and then pair Virgil up with No-EH-mee, who does have all the traits that he wants, similarly to how he married the sisters, because Catalina and No-EH-mee had a sibling relationship growing up. And also, since I'm already here, the cover of this is the first time where...
Yeah, when you said that.
Like, the cover is actually in the book. So, like, what you see in the cover is described as one of the portrait of the wives of Howard, except in the book cover is No-EH-mee instead. Like, it has everything. It has her against the wallpaper with the dress and the flowers, and it's hard to see on the cover, but she has a ring.
Yeah.
And she mentions the ring in the portrait.
Oh, she has there's a ring on
Yeah,
there?
the ring's there.
This is not how I envisioned the portraits when they were explained. I envisioned them more of like a closer up, like a mid, not like this. I don't know.
Like one of the Haunted Mansion paintings.
Yeah, that's what she was picturing.
Yeah, it's
you already
exactly
know
like
it.
the Haunted Mansion. And then it just stretches out.
She's like, ballerina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
The one in the tightrope, and then the gator under.
So, also, I wanna break up Francis real quick because we haven't really talked much about Francis.
I would totally be his friend in real life. He's totally up my alley.
Francis is this poor, introverted, coddled dude who just likes nature and picking up plants and mushrooms. And
He really wants to just try drugs.
I don't know if coddled's the right word. He's not really coddled.
He's not
coddled. That's the wrong word.
No.
That's the wrong word. But he's very
sheltered.
No,
sheltered.
That's the right word. Submission.
Submissive.
Submission.
Don't hurt yourself.
Scenario.
Kids, don't hurt yourself.
He's having an evening.
Anemone.
Anatomy.
Okay, don't hurt yourself.
In a submissive position due to his overbearing mom, and I mean,
he hasn't gone further than the town that he picked Naomi up in.
And you can tell just from the interactions that No-EH-mee is the closest thing he has ever had to a friend. So
me and Evie are just gonna do this back and forth. Just gonna sneak in.
So stop it. Also, mushrooms keep appearing in this story in some way. So whether it's No-EH-mee talking about the fungi of the wall and the ceiling.
Spit it out. Sorry.
Because the house is decaying, so there's mold on the ceiling. And he starts talking about how old European wallpaper was made with like arsenic, and essentially European people would be like dying in their own houses because the wallpaper was legitimately killing them because of the mold that would occur.
That's where it all starts.
And then we're talking about Francis picking mushrooms and talking about different mushrooms of the region. Some give you hallucination and visions. and
Some give you
the mushrooms that appeared in the first dream. So there's definitely something to do with hallucinogenics in the book, especially since the
Stop
letter.
trying to use big words if you can't use them.
Even, shut up.
Using that word, I do not think you know what it means.
Hallucinogenics. Which definitely. Stop picking on me, man. I'm just trying to be descriptive.
You got too immersed in the book, and she's very wordy, and therefore you're trying to be wordy too.
I am very wordy, just not in speech. If this was in written form, I would sound smart.
You sound smart, Evie. You're
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Smart. You is smart. You is brave. You is very pretty.
You is important.
That was
I
the
think-
one I was missing.
I think the mushrooms tie into maybe Catalina's letter about her being poisoned.
Maybe.
And
maybe.
maybe the
Poison?
ghosts and the walls
Ghosts?
speaking. I don't know why I have a paperclip in here. The voices and the ghosts are actually maybe all in her head. Maybe she's being poisoned by these mushrooms. Maybe
It's the mushroom.
in some form.
Ooh. Acid.
Definitely. But what do you
Which
guys
in
think of?
theory shouldn't make her like, I don't know. You'd think on some level, I could be wrong,
No,
but that would
if you-
heal her.
You're inhaling a lot
Of her
of stuff,
TB.
you're gonna hallucinate a lot of things.
Yes.
I mean, like,
should
yeah, but
also-
hallucinating can help the healing process if you're drugged the whole time. Like,
Well, why do you
Well,
think
between-
it's like she's getting better from tuberculosis? Look,
karma.
fucking karma,
There you
man.
go, Evie. There you go, Evie.
Oh, yay!
so-
For this scenario, yay!
Scenario.
What do we think of No-EH-mee as a character so far?
First of all, I don't need a medical degree to know that naturalistic remedies can still help. Okay?
Oh my god.
I'm just saying the mushrooms, man. I don't think it's hurting her.
Well, there was that
Okay.
one mushroom that apparently makes
She may
you
be
horny.
pooping weird.
so-
I don't know. But
It's purple.
Did anyone else feel kind of bad for Frances when she made the joke about the mushrooms, about like the mushroom that makes you like lustful and totally just, but maybe we could just sleep
that
together.
was hilarious. It was so
I
sad.
feel
I was
bad
like-
because he's socially awkward and that's
Exactly.
like,
It's like
you're
poor
fucking
boy.
with him. And
Wait,
he already
that-
has a shit mom, so like
Well, wouldn't
that's
we do the
rude.
same thing?
And the worst part is afterwards,
What?
she notices that he's not like frustrated like with her. He's more like frustrated with himself because he knows he gives off that front of he's just this submissive mama's boy and
Awkward and
And he
naive,
doesn't like
and
it.
wants to try
and he
drugs.
doesn't like it himself. And then she feels bad. I'm like, oh. So what do we think of No-EH-mee as a character so far?
I kind of like her.
I like her, but I can't decide if I like her because I like her or if I'm being pushed to like her because that's the point.
I don't like her. She's kind of like annoying.
And
In
not
what
in a good
way?
way. Because like in
Why
an
do you
annoying
find her annoying?
Because she's she's the Mexican version of a basic white girl. Because she's like a debutante and she's like, I'm gonna fuck with guys and like everybody better like me and like listen to me and I'm fucking
But-
no.
I don't know. I
Well,
get
she
what
has
you're
to
saying,
do
but I don't think I
qualities.
see it that way exactly because
She has redeemable qualities, but she hasn't really shown them yet.
she's like, I'm a psychology major, so
well, her father calls her flighty because she's always like jumping from like one
but that could
Like,
just be
interest
him
in her?
being a man in this time.
exactly,
period,
and I don't
who's
think that's
like,
a bad thing because she's 22, she's young, she wants to explore herself and the things she wants. She knows herself that she can be kind of a little bit of vain, also. But yeah,
yes, exactly what you just said. She points out with like her faults or whatever, but she
she's
also
self-aware. Yeah,
she's pretty I'll give her credit for the fact that she knows when she's being baited, or she knows that someone wants a certain reaction out of her, and she'll purposely not give it to them, or she'll be like, well, fuck, I already did it, so now I'm just gonna go on with it because there's no point in pretending. So like I give her that because like I respect that, and I feel like I'm in those situations sometimes too, where I'm like, well, I can see that you're trying to egg that on, and so I'm just gonna not, just to piss you off. And like I get that, like, you know, so like there's some things I do like about her, and I can also kind of see Jess's point too. If she is kind of basic, and that's kind of annoying, but I have to keep thinking about the time period, and
I mean, I said I have redeeming qualities. She does have some redeeming qualities.
I honestly don't.
Used yet.
I don't think there's anything wrong with her wanting to like.
The only time that I kind of like her is when she's being smart and she's like, oh well, like this and this, like talking about the paints and the different chemicals used for it, and like how this could possibly.
She does have that knowledge because of her dad. Yeah.
Like when she's being smart, I'm like, okay, I don't mind you.
Sassy, she's fun too, but like,
well,
there's a certain, I don't know.
Also, I like how she's like the modern
book, so that's also probably why I don't really like her.
You what?
I haven't really gotten into this book. It's kind of like
that's what I'm trying to.
That's gonna affect your judgment for sure. There is a quote that I want to read though. Is when she was contemplating herself about her interest and her interest in things and certain men, and she's thinking about just discussing why like younger men and older men, stuff like that. Yet the thought of anyone more substantial made her nervous, for she was trapped between competing desires, a desire for a more meaningful connection and the desire to never change. She wished for eternal youth and endless merriment. And I feel like
I remember that quote too, and I liked it a lot.
I feel it's a perfect example of someone at just that age and her status in life. She's conflicted with wanting to like do all the like the parties and then the men and this, you know, living her life that way, but also the yearning for.
But it was also said like right before where you actually started, she was also kind of hinting at the fact that like she does that because that's where she's comfortable and she does enjoy it and like that lifestyle, but and when she catches herself wanting the more substantial, like that quote that you said, it's like she doesn't know that she can actually keep up or that she belongs there. So like that self-doubt is when I started to like her more, but I think that's based on how I like the book in general.
But for me, that's the point when I realized I did like her, because I can understand that as like, you want to enjoy these things when you're young, but then when you're faced with something real, you start doubting whether or not you can actually live up to your idea of being real. So I like relatable. Her. Yeah, definitely. I think she's very relatable in a lot of sense in that way. And I also like the fact she's very smart, because of when she's always mentioning the dyes of the stained glass and stuff like that, and because her father is wealthy because he owns a chemical dye plant. He became very wealthy off that, and that rubbed off on her. She's very smart. She retains a lot of information, and I think that's going to pay off later up in the book somehow. That just retention of knowledge of just chemicals and stuff like that.
Yeah, it helps her keep her own with Howard too.
There was also
Catalina probably couldn't.
For me, I found it relatable when she was talking to Francis about trying to take the car to town, because Florence doesn't let anyone leave without, like, if it's either Charles or Francis the one driving the cars to town. And I love the quote when she goes, ideas about what to do on the weekend, anything really. I do my best thinking when I'm in motion. Just that, I was like, yes. I'll just randomly pick up and drive 9 hours and I'll do my best thinking on the way there. So yes, that was my moment of like when she was talking about like I don't want anyone driving me. I want to drive. So I was like, yay.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I relate.
Also, I want to mention one thing also though, in the description for Francis's appearance, they also mention how he has dark circles under his eyes, which is also what they point out, what Marta points out to to No-EH-mee that she also
not
has
sleeping
dark
well
circles.
either.
So I think Francis
No
may
one
also be having nightmares, which could also tie into why he wants to try one of those Aztec mushrooms, because he said they give visions. So maybe he's also trying. I think it all hints that maybe he's also being affected by something in the
Maybe
house.
no
And that's
one
why
sleeps in that house, and that's why it's so silent. Because everyone thinks
Well,
everyone.
you
else
wouldn't
is
know because
sleeping.
everyone is so fucking quiet in that house.
Exactly. Because they don't wanna bother Howard.
We don't talk during dinner. It's like, okay then.
Bitch,
Well, then
please.
you can listen.
Bitch, please. That's when you go. Bitch, don't know about Pangea.
Oh my god, that's the first one, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first one. She listens to Little Dicky just one time.
No, she listened like 8 times.
And on my
We
way
listened
here,
8 times.
and on my way here, I listened to the song like twice. It's so funny.
That's awesome.
Though. It's so funny.
Oh
Everything
my
in life
God.
has purpose. You chickens are meant to have a circus.
Brain gotta poop.
T-minus 5 minutes.
That might be my other favorite line is brain gotta poop.
I like the I'm thirsty as fuck. Could sure use a Sprite.
Okay, guys. So, have you guys any other thoughts on chapters?
I hope that I don't end this book bored and regretting reading it.
I'm really hoping for something wow to come soon.
I hope it does pick up because
What's that line in The Incredibles with the little kid? He's like, I don't know, waiting for something amazing to happen. Is that what he said?
Yeah. He's like,
I don't know, something amazing, I guess.
me too, kid.
Me too. Me
Same.
too. Fucking
But I
right.
gotta say, I am enjoying the slow burn though. I like hearing No-EH-mee describe
Same.
the surrounding.
I mean,
I'm ready for the triple
No-EH-mee.
homicide. Give me a
No-EH-mee.
homicide.
Stop
triple
it, Jess.
homicide.
Get out of my mind.
Throw someone in the river, goddammit.
In the ravine. Find someone in the ravine.
But yeah, I'm enjoying the descriptions of the town, the house, the aesthetic and ambiance of the estate. It is very gothic.
I
and I'm
also
enjoying
like
it.
how easy it is to read. Like I'm actually enjoying. Like I yeah, it's very fácil to read this book.
Very fussy.
Yes, I am actually reading this.
Más fácil.
When I read that Hulu is picking it up as an original series. So,
Yeah, because Ripa.
Yes.
Kelly Ripa.
So let's see how that will go. We might just hate the whole thing and be like,
How cool would it have Kelly? How cool
But-
would it be to have Kelly Ripa money and then like all these books that were because she just read it over the summer and was like, I'm gonna make it a TV show, and then she just fucking did because she's
well, let's just start a GoFundMe page for like all the books we read. We're gonna turn into a TV series.
up and be like, hey, we have 2 other books that we'd really like to be a movie, please.
Can we help you?
Por favor.
Okay, guys. So for next week, I believe we're reading chapters 10 through 18. That is a wrap up for this week. We will see you next week. Stay spicy, fellow disasters, and remember to like, share, and subscribe.
Stay spicy.
Por favor.
Naomi.
Bye.
Bye.
No-EH-mee.
No-EH-mee. It's
No-EH-mee.
No-EH-mee. I have the audio.
No-EH-mee.